one stock that is about to jump up, in my opinion. It is a US listed Chinese company similar to Amazon, and you might say, okay, wait a second, a Chinese company is a good stock idea right now, just days after the US market dropped 3-4% in a day, the biggest drop in months, days after Trump announced that he's going to levy tariffs on China because they're going to be more restrictive in supplying the US with rare earth materials. So yeah, there are some tensions there. But what happened with this Chinese company, the ticker is BABA, Alibaba, BABA, is it dropped a lot on this Trump announcement. And it went down for several days, not just yesterday. It was already coming down coming into yesterday. Yesterday being Friday. So the last business day, last market open day. So what that meant is that there was a capitulation opportunity. Like at some point, there is a capitulation opportunity. It hasn't really happened yet, which is why I'm telling you about it in this video. The stock is going to go up at some point. So let's look at the chart. Let's see when the selling's going to stop. Let's look at a little bit about the market as a whole. I'm not here to say what's going to happen with the market because that's not something that anyone knows the answer to, but everyone wants the answer to it, so we talk about it anyway. So hit that like button if you like these ideas, and let's get started.
This is Sam Putnam. This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam. This is Sam Putnam.
So here is all the news that came out on a stock called MP Materials, which is a rare earth company. You can see that stock went up like 10%, ish, sort of drifted down after hours a little bit. But on the news, you can see the market in the background. That's the green line that went down a few percent from 670 down to about 650 over the course of the day on Trump's announcement that, he's considering an increase in tariffs on Chinese products. Okay. So the sector, that's the rare earth sector, gained after China's Commerce Ministry announced that foreign suppliers must obtain approval to export certain products containing rare earth materials. Now that's a mouthful, but if we read that again, it says that they must obtain approval to export certain products containing rare earth materials. So it's not that they cannot export products. It's only certain products, and it's not they cannot, it's that they must obtain approval. So this is a rare earth scare, and the rare earth companies that are US centric did go up. But at the same time, this is not like an indictment on Chinese companies. It's not an indictment on the Chinese-US relations. So I'm not here to tell you that the market's not going to, go down again on tomorrow, which is Monday, and then drift down and digest more somewhere around 640 or something, and then start to work its way up. It could, and there's a smaller chance than that it could even this could be the beginning of a larger sell-off. And we might get somewhere above this level, probably not below this level. But all this to say, why don't we not worry about what exactly is going to happen? Because you probably don't have all your money in SPY if you're watching this video anyway, right? If you bought the index, sure, you're freaking out on Friday because you just hear that the market went down a bunch, all your money's in the quote-unquote market, and maybe you saw your portfolio take a 4 or 5% dip from whatever it is. Let's say it's $1 million portfolio, and it went down to 960K or something like that. So look, is this scary? If you're totally all in on the market, it is. But if you're a long-term, medium-term investor in individual stocks, not only did some rare earth companies go up for the obvious reason that they're connected to, U.S. rare earth independence, Also, some nuclear companies went up. Oklo being the one that's probably the biggest breakout opportunity regardless. You look at these other ones and they obviously were pretty wrecked by the market, even the uranium names as well. Besides UUUU and DNN, those did all right actually. And it's going to be hard for me to explain exactly why that happened, but not everything is explainable. And it seems like the leader for nuclear is not SMR and NNE. NNE's always been the laggard, really. But sort of cementing its leadership on Friday's move is Oklo. And it's like, why does nuclear go up? Well, because if rare earth is more cut off, then an energy source that is independent to the U.S., located in the U.S., is more attractive, investable. And that's Oklo nuclear reactors, even if they're a couple years off. Now, that's all the backdrop to what we're talking about here, which was Alibaba. And these are these other days. This is actually a green day. I mean, technically. And when I say technically, that means actually. So this went down. This was actually a green day. And then this went down again. And then Friday went down again. But this was mainly, driven by the market, you could say. So it's kind of like AMD in the sense that it was up a lot, and then Friday's move, AMD did have a red day before Friday's move, brought it back to a more favorable level where you can buy this. So could it go sideways first before it goes up? It could, but the great thing about Alibaba is that it was already going down, and then it got absolutely crushed on Friday. So sorry to Alibaba investors, but for new investors, it's pretty interesting, this left side peak, if it holds this 50-day moving average. So you could get some digestion, or you could get a little rebound on Monday directly. So that's the idea. That's BABA. Now let's jump into what the heck is happening, right? So as of today, Sunday, Bitcoin is actually up a little bit. And you can sort of see that move up around whatever it is, 10:30. This is Eastern time, and I'm not here to say that this is something you have to concern yourself with, but I'm just saying if you look on the daily, Friday was gnarly, huge wick down from all the way down to like 100K, bought right back up, big 10% bounce. Saturday pretty much did nothing, obviously an inside day given this day is disgustingly rangy, and then today also maybe similar size to Saturday, but it's green. And it seems like part of the reason why it's green might be this language you're talking about right in the beginning. China's Commerce Ministry announced that foreign suppliers must obtain approval to export certain products containing rare earth materials. So it's not an all-out assault on rare earth companies that use China rare earths. So what happened? Well, here's some speculation, right? This is a little crazy, okay, but, maybe it was all one big misunderstanding, okay? And so this is quoting this thing, and it's basically saying that the news about China's rare earth controls came out October 9th at 8:30 a.m., a full day plus before Trump posted about it. So it didn't matter until Trump posted. So kind of the dealio is that maybe Trump and others didn't really read the fine print on what China was saying. And this is what China is trying to clarify, I guess, is that it's not a full export ban if the applications meet regulations. In other words, the usage of the rare earth is within regulations. It'll still be approved by China. So, with all that said, we don't know exactly if this is all, exactly what happened, but this is the bottom line. The odds of Trump's 100% tariff on China going into effect are extremely low if we consider their response to be pretty measured, right? That it's not a full export ban. They're still going to be approving some amount of rare earth companies' products to be exported out of China. So, yeah, maybe it was all big one misunderstanding, a pretty costly misunderstanding, but still, only extremely costly really if you were in these altcoins, which I'm not even going to pull up the charts for the altcoins, partially because I don't even know what the altcoin charts look like. But Bitcoin was, pretty badly crushed. That's like 10% plus, 15% plus. Big bounce up 10%. My percents are all out of whack. Whatever it was, 120 to 100 and then back to 110. Yeah, that pretty much checks out. 15% down, 10% up, something like that. So now we had a little red day yesterday, a little green day today, and it seems like part of the green day move might be because of the sort of gradual seeping out of this information, sort of widespread agreement amongst the investor community that, hey, like, actually what happened was China said that they're not going to export rare earth products without, giving them a one over and making sure they meet regulations. So could be all good. BABA is the idea. That's the level. Could digest here. Could bounce up before that. Small chance that this is something overblown that we haven't even, talked about. It's not overblown, but actually this could be a blow up situation and BABA goes down much more along with the market. But if that does that everything's going to be going down. So that's a situation that is unlikely and probably not worth covering in this video. If you held your stocks going into Friday, which almost everyone was, yeah, I mean, a lot of your stocks went down, okay? If you were holding AMD, it went down. But if you haven't bought any stocks that like recently went up, now is an opportunity to get into them, right? Because they pulled back to a level you can buy. And you can buy this AMD here. You can buy this BABA here off this left side peak. And MP Materials, one of the few sectors that went up, rare earths in the US, you can probably buy that too off of this level. I'm saying probably because it depends on exactly what happens with futures. Maybe we gap down, at which point you can't really buy it off this level, right? Because it's below that level. But maybe we gap up and you can use that level. So we'll see what happens. As always, we don't know. I don't know. But if you like these ideas, and you've certainly been paying attention to the market, which I think the whole world was on Friday, I think a way to get a little more granular is to say, hey, what are some stocks to rotate into or to pick up, do some shopping? I think BABA might be on that list. So if you like these ideas, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe. And I do talk about these ideas in a community called stockscommunity.com. Some of these ideas, these videos come out a little delayed. You probably noticed. It's not totally my intent to like purposefully put these out late to make the community more of like a real-time place. But I have responded to comments a little less often here on YouTube. As you know, some of the comments on YouTube are also not like super constructive anyway. So DMs are a great place to talk. And if you want to talk, head over there. I will see you in the next one.
This is Sam Putnam. This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam. This is Sam Putnam.